That's 7 seconds. Times that by 20, you're doing a 2-minute and 20-second set of squats. What the f? Howdy y'all, it's your favorite trainer with a belt buckle. Today we're going to talk about what is better, GPT, which we will represent with Gator, or NASM programming. If you're not familiar with Up Fitness, I wrote the book, How to Become a Successful Personal Trainer. Our certification is the best in the industry. It's going to get you hired at elite gyms like Equinox and Lifetime. Your textbook certifications like NASM, ACE, ISSA, those will get you into your 24 LA Fitness in the lower end gyms. If you want to become elite, you need to be a qualified personal trainer, understanding anatomy, programming, and movement, and that's exactly what we're going to talk today about. ChatGPT stands for Generative Pre-Trained Transformer, like the movie. And this thing is the best thing on the internet today. I love it. Why? Because it's going to change the fitness industry. It's going to eliminate all of the textbook trainers. Online trainers, you're going to see about 99% of them are not going to be able to make it. It's like Google. If you know how to use Google to read research, to go and search for certain things, and you know how to navigate through all the bullshit, it's such an amazing tool. It's the same with ChatGPT. You can more effectively design programs. Influencers are going to be cut out because they're programming based off of exercises. When you're a qualified trainer, which we teach you at Show Up, you're programming off of movement patterns. So you can put that into the machine and it spits out a program which you'll know how to adjust. Whereas if you're a textbook trainer and you're just programming off of exercises, you're going to get crushed by the machine. So for example, let's go over a NASM program which they have in their 7th edition, the sucker right here. So Jane Doe, she wants to lose weight. Stabilization, endurance, better get your motion balls out. All right, so we're going to foam roll our calves, adductors, and lats. 1 set, 1 rep, 30 seconds, and you're going to do that, a static stretch right after. And then you're going to do a 5-minute cardio. That's going to take you at least 10 minutes. Doing stuff that could absolutely be skipped. And then you're going to do some activation drills. These are key words today: bridge, cobra, reach in the frontal plane. Probably another 5 or so minutes. So before you even get into the workout, you wasted 15 minutes. If you want to be charging $150+ per hour, that's what they charge at Equinox and Lifetime, your clients will laugh at you if you did this with them. Now you get into the program. Ball squat, 1 set for 20 repetitions with a 4-2-1-1 tempo. Get a stability ball behind you and you're going to squat down for 4 seconds and then you're going to pause for 2, up for 1. Then you're going to get into a body weight good morning for a hinge pattern, incline push-ups for a push, standing tube rowing for a pull pattern, and then you're going to do standing tubing for your shoulder press. You're going to do this in a giant circuit, so you do the squat into the good mornings, into a push-up, into a row, into a shoulder press, and that's it. And then you get into the client's choice. They want to do a plank, and then you're going to foam roll and stretch again at the end. This is why it's so easy to determine a crappy trainer by looking into an Instagram bio. Anyone that has NASM CPT, it tells you they do not understand movement, programming, any of that stuff. They think it's quality. And that's why when clients come to our gyms at Show Up Fitness, I always ask them, did you work with a trainer in the past? Oh, you did? Were they NASM certified? They probably had you do some overhead squat, or they scared you with terminology like pronation distortion or upper cross syndrome. Yeah, well, that's a textbook trainer. So when you're a qualified trainer like what we have here at Show Up Fitness and you get our CPT, you understand anatomy, 17 muscle shoulder, 20 of the lower body, movement patterns, and how to design a program very similar to like what ChatGPT does. You can spit it out like that. So that shows competence and confidence, not just a textbook trainer. Textbook trainers are going to be a thing of the past like dinosaurs. Let's take a look at ChatGPT and see what they can do. So I typed this into the machine. Design me a CCA workout with the following circuit: a squat pattern, horizontal push, and then abs, a hinge, vertical pull, and then an arm exercise, unilateral vertical push, and then cardio, and with a metabolic finisher. So when you compare these two, look what it spits out automatically. This is amazing. CCA stands for core accessory. Take a core movement pattern, squat, hinge, unilateral, transitional for the lower body, upper body, push, push, pull, vertical, horizontal. And look what it throws out. So you have squats, 12 reps, push-ups, 12 reps, bicycle crunches. You do that for 3 rounds. And then you're going to go into a deadlift, into a pull-up, into a bicycle curl, 3 rounds. And you can do lunges into shoulder presses, into jumping jacks. And you end off on a metabolic finisher. So when you compare the two, look at the intensity. Your clients are showing up, one, because they want a great workout and they want to feel like something happened. Whereas with Jane Doe, unless she was maybe in her late 150s, one set of 20 repetitions, this intensity is extremely low. But you could argue on the other side with ChatGPT that the intensity might be a little too aggressive. If we're doing deadlifts for 12 reps, great coaches typically won't program outside of 10 reps when it comes to deadlifts. It's a very complex movement pattern, so typically you're going to go about 6 to 8 reps. Pull-ups, 12 reps, push-ups, 12 reps. This is assuming that the individual is probably more intermediate to advanced, whereas Jane Doe, we're looking at her like a fragile 100-year-old. So these are really both the two extremes I would see. One is super low intense, one is a little more aggressive. So a great trainer can take this program here with the ChatGPT and say, okay, well, how can I modify it? So instead of doing push-ups, let's do a push-up on a bench press. Instead of doing deadlifts, maybe we do a hip thrust. Instead of doing a pull-up, we do a TRX row. You take the pattern and then you regress it what's appropriate for the individual. So what I don't like about NASM and the programming that they put in here is they make it very, very simple and there's no thought process behind it. So we're doing a squat pattern into a hinge, into a push, into a pull, into a press. My question would be, why are we doing 2 leg exercises back to back for a beginner? It'd make a lot more sense to do something like over here on the ChatGPT side where you're doing an upper body into a lower body or an agonist to an antagonist. So I want to see a push into a pull. Doesn't make too much sense to me. Why are we foam rolling and stretching for 20 plus minutes? People in the online space and YouTubes, they like to make fun of me because he makes fun of NASM. This is their programming. So I want someone to be able to defend this. If you were to take a client through this, they're not going to sign up with you. And then you're going to represent the average trainer who's closing at less than 20%. Less than 20%. That's nuts. You have 10 people in front of you and they want to work with you. 2 say yes. Let's show Up Fitness. We're at 80%. And we charge between $150 to $250 per hour. And so this is the frustrating thing with the industry is people are getting these textbook certifications. They don't understand anatomy. They don't understand programming. And so when you really understand programming, there's a thought process behind it. You can look at something and say, okay, I see why you're doing it. Maybe we can regress it or progress it. I cannot do that on this side of the equation with the NASM program. Why would we do foam rolling and stretching for more than 35% of the workout? Why are we doing only 1 set? The client's goal is fat loss. So it doesn't really give you too much data. It's Jane Doe. Okay, it's a female. Most of my females are going to want to lose fat, sure. Want to tone up, okay. Standing tubing row for 20 repetitions is not that much volume. You need to be hitting that 6 times a week, and I know that that's not what they're going to have you be doing. So our goal at Show Up Fitness is to help qualify trainers. And so when you can spit out a program like ChatGPT, but more efficiently, that's the thing that I'm really excited about. Because this program right here is okay, it's not amazing, but your clients are going to essentially bring this stuff into you. Chris, what do you think about this program? So what we do at Show Up Fitness is we actually tell our clients to find workouts from ChatGPT and other influencers and bring them in, and then we educate them on that. We're not afraid of this. You need to embrace it. Because what's going to happen is if you can't design a program like that, that shows that you're not competent in this profession. We just had a trainer get hired at Equinox in Austin. They didn't take him through any type, show me how to train. The guy came in, was confident, looked the part, had a great resume, Show Up Fitness CPT, sat down with the manager, and after about 5 minutes, getting to know him a little bit more, he said, can you design me a program? He said, sure, boom, CCA, just like that. ChatGPT does it way faster than we can, but he did it in a manner that was very efficient, less than 60 seconds. And the manager said, that's a great program. How would you regress it for someone who's pregnant? Oh, do this and do that. Great, you're hired on the spot. You hear about those 1% of the time because most trainers are not taught the why behind programming, and that's what we teach you. We're going to do more of these because I think this can be a really helpful exercise. Don't just program an exercise because you think the client wants it. There needs to be a why behind it. And if a client wants to lose fat, 1 set, 20 repetitions with a 4-2-1-1 tempo, do some math here, people. 4 seconds eccentric pause for 2 up for 1. That's 7 seconds. Times that by 20, you're doing a 2-minute and 20-second set of squats. What the fuck are we doing? And then a good morning, and then you do them with push-ups, and then you could argue that a set of 12 push-ups is way too much, Chris. Doing a set of push-ups for 20 here, and it's incline, but you're doing it for 2.5 minutes, that's not realistic. I don't think anyone actually thought when they designed these programs. And this is my opinion. I can make that because I've taught this stuff for a very long time. I worked at a school called NPTI, 4th edition, 5th edition, 6th edition, 7th edition. I've also taught from ACE material, ISSA, CSCS, very diverse teachings. And here's the best part about this program from NASM compared to ChatGPT. And this is from a professor who teaches kinesiology and is an expert in programming. I sent it to him and said, Doc, take a look at this. ChatGPT is so much more proficient. Maybe Jane Doe is 75 and sedentary. He's mocking it. If you want to become a successful personal trainer, read the book. We're online, and you get to ask questions. We actually have a call now where we see if you're smarter than the bot. And we have classes, Design Me a Glute program, and we pull it up from ChatGPT, and you got to do better. And even better, we challenge you. You have to be able to stand up for your program and know the why behind it. That teaches you confidence. So when you are programming for clients online, you're going to be an elite trainer. Not like all these other textbook trainers who put their certification in their bio. All that shows is that they're insecure. Check back on them in a year later, they're not going to be a trainer. So we want to change the fitness industry one qualified personal trainer at a time, and that's what you get when you show up. Hopefully you found this helpful. Have a great day, y'all. Keep showing up.